Hello, teacher. Nice to meet you. I'm glad to be here to present to you the topic of global citizens. However, before moving to the main point, let me introduce a little bit information about myself. My name is Thảo. I'm a student at Cần Thơ University, known as a public research university in Cần Thơ, Vietnam. Established in 1966, it is a multidisciplinary university and a leading university in the Mekong Delta. As a student at such a rich university allows me to participate in a variety of positive activities, and I do have the opportunity to approach a new kind of conception called global citizens. So, what does global citizen mean? A global citizen is the individual who is aware of and understands the wider world and their place in it. They take an active role in their community and work with others to make our planet more peaceful, sustainable, and fairer. The global citizens are those who respect the value of justice, equality, and diversity. They are not as a member of a state, a tribe, or a nation, but as a member of human race and someone who is prepared to act on that belief to tackle our world's greatest challenges. Whether I'm a true global citizen?
No, no.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Unfortunately, my answer from now is not. I'm not consider myself a global citizen. Perhaps you will wonder why I did that and what features make someone be a global citizen if they have something like standards or conditions. Before explaining the reason why I didn't consider myself a global citizen, let me give you some information about factors that recognize people as global citizens. At first, global citizens try to understand other people and have empathy for them. They act fairly in their choices, their decisions, and their words. Furthermore, they also believe that all people are equal. None of some groups or individual is superior or inferior to others. Global citizens always have a straightforward ambition that makes the world better. Additionally, getting involved as members of the international community and are committed to building on this community in a meaningful and positive way. This means that aspiring global citizens need to develop skills related to problem solving, decision making, critical thinking, communication and collaboration, cross-cultural awareness are all relevant individual benefits to the global era in which we now live. Through experiences like educational and travel, these skills can ultimately be acquired. So, for all factors mentioned above, I clearly perceive that being a true global citizen is something actually hard for me because that is also I think is the obstacle hinders me from being a global citizen. I don't totally have the same idea with them. I don't think the issue that everyone is equal is the right one. Personally, instead of the negative impacts, the injustice and social disparity promote the development of society. The desire to seek approval may encourage me to reinforce positive habits. As a result, inequality can sometimes be used to motivate myself on improving my ability, knowledge in order to accomplish the object. Therefore, my thinking basically is kind of contrast with the ideal which a global citizen should have. And in other hand, to become a global citizen, people should develop their soft skills as communicating, problem solving, listening, and so on. And I'm not good enough. I do easily recognize that is the quickness should be corrected as soon as possible. So, am I against to be a of the citizen of the world? I don't think so. Um, Although I didn't observe myself totally as a global citizen, being one of them makes sense a lot, and positive impacts are always higher than negative ones. For example, in the university, I can start to face issue of global independency through an economic course, diversity of identity and controls in a history course, sustainable development in an environmental science course, and more. Classes that allow for varied learning methods such as debate or role-playing are becoming an increasing necessity for my basic school curriculum. Thus, I can learn to become a successful learner, confident individual, responsible citizen, and effective contributor. On and on. This will allow me to explore, develop, and express my own values and opinions. I will increase listening and respecting skills of others and my opinion and be able to make informed choices that not only affected me but others as well. Though advantage listed above quietly support me to face with problems today too. That is the high expectation, peer pressure, and uncertainty. The first one is the high expectation. My generation are the excellent one. They are prioritized on the best qualities of education, life condition. However, does it unintentionally put them under terrible pressure? They have to study harder and harder not to be left behind or living under high expectation from family or society. Gradually, that bad situations will get worse and easily lead to a mental health crisis. Currently, more young people than ever are experiencing mental health difficulty, and one of the notable reasons lead to the increasing of mental health in young generation is peer pressure. Because of the development of social network, we can be occasionally seen admirable achievements of our peers, and besides being some big motivation, they also encourage them to partake in risk-taking behavior, such as drinking alcohol or taking drugs. Finally, the uncertainty. We are living in uncertain time. The global COVID-19 pandemic has impacted everybody's life differently. But the takeaway here is that it has impacted everybody. Uncertainty over the future is the major concern for many young people. The pandemic has highlighted and accentuated social inequality. People are expressing deep financial concern as we head further into a recession, and mostly young people who has no experience sees stable budget. However, we just calm down, because this list isn't conclusive. Instead, it points to a few general areas that we feel are particularly important to consider as a potential generation of our country. Furthermore, young people's challenges are complex, so we should approach our mind concern with nuance and an open mind. Gaining a deeper understanding requires patience. So, as students have learning in the CTU for 4 years, I want to give a few advice to new CTU students, not just for preparing to be a responsible global citizen, but for the successful memorable semester. That is completing totally on your own assignments before thinking about something bigger, advancing the professional skills, knowledge on the STEM. For example, I'm an English learner, so the thing I have to make sense is all about listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills. Besides that, I also study soft skills. Not only just important to CTU and SFL students, but on people want to increase their opportunities for on purpose. Being the responsible person, do not hide your mistake or weakness. Finding the way to limit them. Almost every issue has multiple ethnic, social, political, and economic perspectives attached to it. So that on my presentation about the topic. Thanks for listening me until now. Hope you have good health. Goodbye, teacher.